It's called History of Contemporary. Each design movement builds from its predecessor or reacts against it. Baroque became the embellished version of Renaissance. It kept its fundamental of symmetry, logic, and order, but the focus was on the design elements. These elements invoked motion, energy, and excitement. Rococo saw what Baroque did, swapped its deeper tones to lighter ethereal curves and stones, but kept Baroque's logic. Art Nouveau became the new Rococo. Materials were twisted into more loco curves, its emphasis placed on nature and craftsmanship. Art Deco held on to Art Nouveau's craftsmanship, but loosens curves gripped and deeped into geometric luxe lines. But Deco became distressed in its depression, which turned into the Great Depression. Its flash faded away, became modernism. Modernism only cared about being minimal. Its ethos was to be survival. It quickly birthed postmodernism. This era tried to be expressive and decorative, but couldn't quite break free of its parent-struggling hold. It constantly criticized modernism's rigid doctrines, but realized all its values were a reaction against modernism. It didn't have its own identity. In its anguish, it gave birth to contemporary, which brings me back to you, contemporary. You don't have one design that's prevalent. You're a mix of all the above, but you do not have a clue about your history. You do not know why you think the way you do, why you feel the way you do, why you act accordingly. You don't know the thoughts, habits, trauma transferred from one generation to eventually you, contemporary. By understanding the paths lead to these trauma replications, you can start to disrupt the cycle. Let's start. Oppression imposed on Deco led to depression in modernism, which led to aggression in postmodernism. So how does that trauma show up in you, contemporary? What are you attracted to? What do you run away from? What emotions do you use to avoid when you're feeling overwhelmed? Does it help? Do you miss key danger cues? I advocate understanding its patterns, how it manifests and the forms it takes. From there, you can start the healing process and disrupt the cycle for post-contemporary, so this little design isn't defined or buried by our family's history. Thank you.